It's been 15 years since golf saw a win this revolutionary, and it's all thanks to Sargent's short birdie putt, a freshman too at that. Who could have seen it coming? It wasn't an easy win for Gordon Sargent though. The NCAA four-man playoff this season was pretty intense, and the competition was tough. This was a pretty historical moment for golf history, so we thought we'd do a quick rundown of the game. First up, carrying a legacy. Sargent's win is actually a pretty big deal. It puts him up there with some of the best players in golf history, and we're here for it. He's the 9th freshman to ever win the individual championship. The last one was James Lovemark in 2007. Believe us when we tell you that it's been quite some time since golf saw a win this huge. Longtime followers of golf history will remember that at the 2007 NCAA Championships final at the Golden Horseshoe GC in Williamsburg, Virginia, Lovemark blasted his second consecutive 6-under 64 to erase a 4-stroke deficit over the final 9 holes and became the first USC men's golfer to win the NCAA individual championship in 26 years. He ended with a 9-under 271. More specifically, he ended with 72, 71, 64, 64 after shooting his third 64 of the year, his 21st round in the 60s, and 13th in a row of 72 or below. That's a victory we can't forget easily. This man had us gawking in surprise. Next, not an easy win. It wasn't an easy win for Sargent though. Although we were rooting for him from the start, it was a pretty close call. He was competing with some of the best players in golf history. Sargent, who shot a 4 over 74 at Grayhawk Golf Club, only managed to get to the playoff after Oklahoma State's Eugenio Chacarra 3-putted for bogey on the par 4, 17th. In the playoff, Sargent made a huge drive on the 520-yard par 4 18th and placed his second shot 6 feet below the pin. We were on the edge of our seats watching this play out, thinking, okay, there's no way a freshie will manage to get that far. On his birdie attempt, Texas senior Parker Coody chipped it close from the short left of the green, and North Carolina senior Burnett missed a long birdie putt. If Coody and Chacarra hadn't been caught lacking, Sargent might have missed the opportunity to win. Phew, that was a close call. Now for the timeline of the game. It wasn't just Sargent's win that was the highlight of the game. The whole playoff was very interesting from start to finish. The Commodores did amazing in the opening round of the NCAA Championship, shooting a respectable 2 over 282. Vanderbilt led by 3 strokes after 18 holes, courtesy of a low mistake rate on a searing hot day in Scottsdale. Junior William Mole, Sargent, and Cole Sherwood all shot even par 70s on the day. Sherwood's strong play has garnered national attention, with the sophomore recently named a finalist for the 2022 NCAA D.I. Jack Nicklaus National Player of the Year Award. Despite the fact that Vanderbilt only had 11 birdies on Friday, they were able to maintain their consistency. Despite losing their lead against Oklahoma, the Commodores were in second position coming into Sunday, while Mole and senior Reed Davenport battled on Saturday. Sherwood and Sargent's strong performance kept the Commodores ahead. On Sunday, Vanderbilt shot a 1 over 281 for their best round of the weekend. Sargent pressed the pedal to the metal and carded another 68 to maintain his individual tournament lead. He had 4 birdies, 12 pars, and 2 bogeys in his round. Despite shooting a 9 over 289, the Commodores seized control on Monday. Vanderbilt and Oklahoma finished the weekend tied atop the rankings, but the Commodores secured the number 1 seed for match play thanks to a tiebreaker. We were watching so intensely, we almost fell out of our seats. Up next, tough competition. Oklahoma senior Chris Gotterup missed 2 short birdie putts on the back 9 and 3-putted for par on number 18 to fall 1 hole shy of the playoff. Windy conditions and quick greens kept golfers on their toes the day after Oklahoma's Patrick Welch scored 63. Coody and Burnett advanced to the top of the leaderboard by shooting even on a day when 7 of the 84 players scored below par. Burnett, who began the final round 4 strokes adrift at even par, birdied 3 times to reach the turn at 1 under 34. With bogeys on 11 and 15, he fell to 1 over, but a birdie on 17 put him in a tie for the lead. Coody began his final round on number 10, 4 strokes down, and finished in 2 over 37. The Texan started with 3 consecutive birdies on number 3 to equal Sargent for the lead at 1 under, but finished with a bogey on the par 4 9th to fall 1 back. He, like Sargent, took the lead with Lopez bogey Chacarras on 17. We kinda saw this one coming. They're both pretty experienced players. Come on. Lopez Chacarra recovered from a triple bogey on the long par 4 7th to equal Sargent for the lead on the par 4 15th. This man is definitely a pro, because even as the others stumbled, Lopez Chacarra took the lead by 1, but his tee ball on the short par 4 17th dropped beneath a bush. He cut it out only to 3-putt across the multi-tiered green, forcing a playoff. So how did he finally win? Sargent led Goddard up by 1 stroke going into the final individual round after both shooting 68 on Sunday. Sargent struggled over the first 9 holes, ending with 3 bogeys and no birdies. He was still tied for first at 1 under, but a bogey on the par 3 16th put him a stroke behind Lopez Chacarra. He parred the final 2 holes to tie for the lead when Lopez Chacarra bogeyed the 17th. In an interview, Sargent shared, "It definitely took a lot of patience out there. It was like playing tough, and there were people that were playing well, but I just kind of stuck to my game, and I let it fall into place." When asked about what he wanted as a golfer, Sargent shared something we gotta respect too. He said that he was here to win the national championship, which makes perfect sense. Like, isn't that the goal for every golfer? Now for a bit about the man of the hour. But who is Gordon Sargent, and how did he manage to make such a close win? Well, he's a student athlete who's been doing well in golf since he first entered the scene in 2019. Like, this guy won the Alabama State Amateur Championship back then, and he only went on to go upwards. Before this win, he was also a Haskins Award finalist. This is huge for someone who's still relatively new to the game. It's rare to see someone naturally gifted, but when we do find a gem like this one, we can only wish them the best for the future. Let's talk about some other accomplishments. He was awarded the USA Today Male Golfer of the Year in 2021. Sargent capped his prep career with individual and team state titles, and he defended his title while winning the Alabama State Amateur Championship with a 17 under par 267. Sargent, a product of Mountain Brook High School in Birmingham, Alabama, was the state's #1 golfer and the #2 golfer in the recruiting class of 2021. He is also a 3-time Rolex Junior All-American and the World Amateur Golf Rankings 36th and #1 junior golfer. We imagine Mountain Brook High is real proud of their alumni. Sargent, a 2021 Vanderbilt pledge, won the last 3 rounds of the 104th Alabama State Amateur Championship. Sargent broke the tournament scoring record by 6 strokes, carding rounds of 69, 66, 64, 65, -24, 264. Matt Lawrence set the previous score record of 270 at Pine Tree Country Club in 2018. Sargent was only 17 years old when he managed to do this. We don't remember what we were doing at 17, but it was definitely not as cool as this. He was the event's youngest winner in modern history. He carried a 4-stroke lead into Saturday's final round at Sagahatchee Country Club after hosting 10 birdies and making 2 of his 4 bogeys on the week on the way to a 3rd round 64. Now we have the final verdict. Thanks to Gordon Sargent's brilliant win, Vanderbilt is doing much better. Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and North Carolina were all tied for first place going into team match play. Texas, Oklahoma State, Pepperdine, Arizona State, and Texas Tech were also invited to compete in match play. The Commodores got the #1 seed in the match, playing part of the championship. In an 8-team knockout round, they will face #8 seed Texas Tech. Vanderbilt, the only SEC team to get to the match play stage, has never won a men's golf team title, so you get why Sargent's win was such a big deal to them. Sargent finished under par in 2 of his 4 rounds of stroke play, resulting in a total score of even par. Sargent does not finish for the week, although appearing less ecstatic than one might expect from a national champion. He will lead Vanderbilt into the 8-team match play round, which will decide another national title. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of how Sargent caught his winning birdie? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.